Good evening. My name is Carrie Louise, and I would like to welcome you to Southington High School's virtual open house this year, bringing my classroom C108 to your living room. C108 is the home of architectural engineering design, Project Lead the Way's digital electronics, and engineering design and development. I come from a number of years in the architectural and engineering industry, and I really hope to make your kids' courses exciting, real, authentic, and mostly enjoyable. In this brief video, I hope to address three items. First, I would like to introduce you to the students' classrooms, including what their routines are, very importantly, the COVID measures that we are taking this year, where and how they're seated in class, and what does their project-based learning look like and include for equipment and accessibility while they are there. Secondly, I'd like to introduce you to the method of delivery of your students' curriculum. This will be addressed by specifically introducing, the learning management system, or Canvas, and how you and your students can navigate through it on a daily basis. Finally, we're going to take a preview of your students' course by reviewing the units of study they'll be undertaking throughout this year. I'll end tonight's video with a reminder of this information being available to you in the course's parent-student handbook, and of course, where you can contact me. Let's get started. So, welcome to C108. Students enter the class and are greeted by what I call the Today board, where they see what they will be taking place on that particular day. With current COVID restrictions, students are masked and naturally are advised to sanitize while entering the room. From there, students will enter the room continuously and collect their binders located at the front of the room, and they're going to proceed to each of their desk. Each seat has a 3-foot separation between each student, and each student has either standing or seating possibilities with clear visual access to the smart board and teaching areas at the front of the room. We truly have an active classroom filled with a number of project-based learning assignments and projects. For instance, when we take part in digital electronics, students will go to the digital storage area and they'll access their personal equipment kits for a progressive activity to project-based learning experience. Each receives their own personal digital electronics kit that they'll be able to sign out and take home. Similarly, architecture students are afforded an expansive journey in architecture, from sketching historical contexts to manually drafting plans to building 3D models of their residences, and they too have a storage area where they can protect their treasured projects or as well as their drawings. And finally, not last but not least, engineering, design, and development have an endless amount of access to a variety of workshops in our tech ed area and storage areas to secure their capstone projects. At the end of class, students are to stow binders and projects and are again advised to sterilize before making their way to their next classes. Now let's take a look at the curriculum delivery, our Canvas learning management system, and specifically for digital electronics. By way of a brief introduction, students all begin with their navigations on their dashboards. Let's share the screen again. In their dashboards, students have a selection of all their different courses. By simply selecting their course, this will take them, for example, to their digital electronics homepage, where they have access to all important links within their course at the bottom of the page, as you see here with my cursor. But there's 3 very important features on this page. First of all, the inbox that's located to the left of the homepage. This is where they can directly message me and their student colleagues. Secondly, the coming up is a very important feature for your students because it gives important dates of what are assignments or perhaps a different calendar events that are going to be occurring in the classroom. From here, you can either view the calendar, or from the side, you can view the calendar here. And this, I indicate to students, is probably the most important selection on this. This is where their daily journey begins. The calendar outlines their lesson plans for the day, homework assignments that are due, and it also indicates if there are messages of events that students will be taking care of. Now let's take a look at your course, beginning with the Welcome to Digital Electronics page. So digital electronics is an exciting Project Lead the Way course because it's the study of electronic circuits. Everything that we have in our machines today stem from what we call the binary code and some simple logics of and, or, and inverter gates. We have a number of units and we have a number of projects and activities. It's composed into 4 main topic areas. Unit 1, for example, is the foundation of digital electronics. We briefly review analog electronics, and then we actually go into the studies and the basis of the difference between analog and digital waves, and then the actual discovery of digital electronics explodes. From there, we go into Unit 2, where we discuss combinational logic analysis and design, and there we literally go through a series of labs and projects going through binary octal, binary addition, inverters, ANDs, and NOR gates. And it really comes alive at this basic or this micro basic of the digital electronics theory and practice. We then progress not only from the combinations of ones and zeros in the binary numbers, but we go into the timing of it, what actually automates our machines we couldn't do without the sequential logic analysis and design. Here we start looking at flip-flops and latches, and we introduce your students to state machines, the very foundations of microchips and microcontrollers. Speaking of which, Unit 4 is the introduction to microcontrollers, where we look at real-world interfaces as well as hardware controls. So here, what I'd like to say is, if you'd like to get in contact with me, please refer to your student handbook. There you're able to either phone, text, or email directly with the contact information that's given. I really look forward to meeting you in the near future, and I wish you a fantastic evening. And until then, I say goodbye.